Good morning. It's another glorious day in paradise. So we finished up that last video, left last night. They had mostly finished this wall behind me. They still have some touch-up, some skim coat work they need to do to smooth it out and knock a couple boogers off top, a couple of those posts over there. But for the most part, they're done with it. Backhoe man also cleared out most of the dirt last night. Got what he needed in here, started backfilling over here. I'm pleased to say that this turned out a little bigger than I expected. Now that we get all the piles out of here and I can kind of visualize how big it is. This is that outdoor parking living area right down through there. Hopefully there'll be a well house going in here. Duke hasn't got back to me yet on that with a number. Once again, 6-meter wall out here, drive right down through here. That will begin right here at this post with another fence. For those of you that have joined us recently, a couple weeks ago, while they were waiting for the lower beam to dry on that wall, they come over here, dug these, and poured some pads in the bottom of them. These poles they brought in last night. They'll stand them on there. I'm assuming once they stand them on there, they'll dump some concrete around them to hold them in place. And then they'll bury the hole. They'll pour a beam across the ground. They're going to pour a wall instead of the panels. They're going to put a cast wall here. And then leave the 1-meter post sticking up, same height as that. Top of this beam will be the same as that beam. Posts will be the same as those posts. These fences aren't going to take near as much, or walls, whatever you want to call them. They're not going to take near as long as that other one. Somewhere in the middle of here, this post will be, and then it'll cut right across to that little stick sticking up over there, somewhere right in there. We might move it around a little bit if we need to try to get better dimensions on these walls right here. And we'll get this out here, and then there'll be a wall straight down to that fence line there. Rocky, cocky. Both in jail today. Young man that owns those sits out there and grooms them every night. This one here will come down to somewhere, I think right about in here. Somewhere, 4 meters across. We'll put it somewhere right in here. And this is where that, and again, this wall here is going to be the same, the beam's going to be the same height as those, so it's only going to be shin deep here, but it'll still have the 1-meter post, which will top out the same height as those. I'm guessing they're going to start prepping this here for concrete. We brought all that dirt in that's just freaking sand, same thing we had this spring, which under the floor is probably good actually because that stuff will compact well, but we asked for topsoil, but they didn't have any available. You're not going to believe what I just seen. I heard these are very rare sighting in Thailand. It's a compactor smokeosaurus. Yeah, I was surprised when I seen this come in last night. Happy to see it, that's for sure. This sand ought to compact down really well too. I imagine they'll work on this all day, mesh in it, form around the edges, and I'm guessing we'll have concrete here maybe tomorrow or the following day for sure. Slow day in paradise today. They're still working on getting the floor prepped for concrete. Fence guys kind of set those poles up. I don't think they got much else done today though. Some and I spent the last 2 hours trying to figure out how to throw one of these damn nets, and there's definitely a technique to it. But these guys are coming along pretty good. Got moisture barrier down. The old rebar in the bathrooms, and it looks like the front sitting area is pretty much done. I would think they would have this done sometime tomorrow. Well, they got a little ways to go there. Got all the bars down. They just got to twist a bunch of wire. And again, this will be lower than the floor in the house, so when it rains, it'll never bring water into the house. And they do the same thing in those bathrooms. Fence guys had family in town today, so they kind of been sloughing off a little bit, which is fine. I mean, they've been here for, geez, I don't even know, almost a month now, I think, and haven't gone home. Go watch Sound Pit throw this net once. Oh, she gave up. She went back to YouTube to try to figure it out. It's another morning in paradise. Today, the build crew is going to floor me. But all they got left is form up that edge right there where he's at, and then around the outside area. He said they plan on having concrete here between 3 and 4 o'clock this afternoon. They'll be ready far before then. All we got left is put plastic down here, some rebar, and form the sides. And they did all this in about, 4 or 5 hours yesterday. This got like the wire mesh in it, but this got actual real hard rebar, double stacked rebar chairs in place. And for those of you wondering, you don't really need the rebar chairs here to keep them out of the dirt because I got the plastic down, but you do want that mesh up in the middle of the concrete. So I'll make sure they're tugging on to get it up off the dirt, up off the plastic, at least a little bit. But yeah, by this time tomorrow, we'll be floored. And then once they get the floor in, they'll form in these columns probably late in the week. I imagine they'll let these corners set for at least a couple of days before they put concrete on them. But they'll put the forms in these columns. These columns poured, this team's going to head out to another job site. And the roof crew will come in and get the roof on it. And then when they're done, these guys will come back and do the block work. I haven't been to the desk yet, so I'm going to get over there and get on that thing. I swear it's a conspiracy. I never know what's going on. Last thing I did last night before we left is ask what time they're going to have concrete today. They said 3 and 4. I come out here this morning, I fed the fish, I ran to town to get some stuff done. It's 9:30. It's sloppy, wet floor. I would assume they're going to do the whole thing. They're ready. They got all the forms over there. I just made that video earlier 2 hours ago, and they needed to put plastic down and form that. So I was just talking to Duke, the contractor, via Google Translate. This mix is what the engineer has requested. I was asking him why there's so much steel in it. And he said, that's the way it's requested. That's the way we put it. I said, no problem. Not sure why, but there's no problem. So this concrete here doesn't look too bad now. At least it's not self-leveling. As you can see behind me, they got it poured. The first load was a little wet, but not bad. And then they just progressively got worse to the point that I just walked away and sit over there because I couldn't take it. You can see there's water literally setting on top of the concrete here. They brushed all this out so tile will stick to it, or mortar, whatever you want to call it. Contractor said that they're going to bring in the forms for the columns tomorrow. They'll get them put up tomorrow, and my guess is we'll be pouring concrete in those probably in about 2 days. 24 to 48 hours, you should be able to start working on this stuff, as long as you don't put a heavy load on it. You can see how wet this was here. Stuff dropped in it. Not a big house, I said it before. But it's just her and I, it's all we need. Too much water. Good morning. Nice, cool, cloudy morning, as you can see. 61 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius. Paradise is deformed. Just to kind of give you an idea of the step down to the bathroom. This seems a little dramatic, though. I don't recall them being quite that much. I thought they're normally about half that amount. See all these cracks in here? It's because it's too wet when they pour it. Too much water in it, so the water, as the water evaporates, the concrete separates because all the volume's leaving it. Walk through it one more time. Parking right here. From that column over here, 4.5 meters, which is going to be somewhere right in this area. 4.5 meters over, 2 meters over, there'll be a small wall, half wall, with a countertop here, and this will all be outdoor living area. Nice big space, exactly what I wanted. Kitchen will stop here. There'll be a 1 meter stub wall aligned with the hallway coming out here. We'll have a countertop here along that 1 meter wall, and then a 45 off across the room, just a short one. Some place to sit and watch a TV that's going to be right up there. Master bedroom, walk into the master closet, through the closet into the master bath, which we'll cut off here. Guest bath there, laundry room here, office there, hallway down through here. This out here is just an outdoor sitting area at the front door. Sit here and watch sunrise, or sit here and get out of the sun in the afternoon, whichever way you want it. And as I've said 100 times already, the drive will be from that column right there, 5 meters over, which will align with this here. That will be the drive out, in and out right there. So straight into the parking. I'll concrete here and here so we can have guest parking on either side, but you'll be able to just back out and drive out the gate. Even if after the pump house is put in, it's going to come out to about right here. Leave us room to drive along this side if we need to get back in here to do something. My original vision was to have this much higher above grade, but this will be okay. My intent was to have it more like this outdoor area, so I could see across that fence easily. But I get down here, and that's more the view I'm going to have if you look at the top of the post. I'm holding the camera at my eye level. But the fence will be see-through anyhow, so it's not going to be the end of the world. So right now they're marking out where the forms for the columns need to lay. They'll string line across here. Basically lay out a grid again. String here, so when they set the form on there, they know that where the form has got to be. That'll make a straight wall and give you the concrete thickness that you need on the columns. So he's laying out one that way now. I got to go get over to the office, get busy, relaxing.